Hi, everybody. So, welcome back to my channel. And what I'm wondering this evening. Hi, everybody. So, welcome back to my channel where I talk about everything really that's under the sun and away from the sun. So, my topic today is the Pope and the sanctuary cities. And I understand the human dilemma. I understand that there's limited resources where, these people come from. And, I'm so lucky to have been born where I am in the United States. And I know these people are looking for a better life. Um, but the thing that I'm going to get into today is the Pope. So the Pope comes into the United States and he starts flapping his lips about how we should have sanctuary cities. And I believe he started talking about this about 4 years ago or so, right when sanctuary cities started popping up, like when San Francisco decided they were going to be a sanctuary city. I think they were like the test run for it. So when San Francisco was going to be a sanctuary city, and they were getting pushback from the public, and then the Pope steps in and says, "Oh, no, 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 we need a sanctuary city for these people. They have nowhere else to go, um, and you people need to open up your doors to them, carte blanche." So here comes the Pope in his little white robe and his skirts and, with his little beanie cap on. And he's blabbing his mouth about how we need to have a sanctuary city. Okay, fine. So here it is now in 2019. This is June 2019. And we have sanctuary cities, a lot more than what we did just when San Francisco was starting to open up. So, looking at San Francisco and now LA. Okay, so San Francisco has, human feces all over the sidewalks. People who live there are trying to walk their kids to school. They're trying to get to work every morning, come home every night. They just, work 8, 10 hour, 15-hour day. They're exhausted and they have to dodge crap in the streets from people, living on the street corner and peeing and crapping in the sidewalk. So, what I'm wondering is number one, where's the Pope? Where's his pooper scoopers in their little white robes coming around to clean up all the crap that's been left on the streets, okay? So you look at Rome, or the Vatican, actually, that's where the Pope is, and the Vatican is its own sovereign nation, if you didn't know that. It has its own laws, it has its own economy, it has its own rulers or emperors. I don't know what you would call a Pope. I mean, I think he's just a pretentious, bigoted pedophilia, head of a pedophilia ring, in my opinion. But anyway, so where's the Pope at now? We have, here's my dog. Hi, dog. So we have San Francisco, 2019, June 2019, and now we have Los Angeles, and Los Angeles now has typhus, from all the crap and the rats and everything that are running on the streets. So, what I want to know is where's all these people who were saying, "Oh, no, 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 we need these sanctuary cities, and we need you to open up your hearts and your arms and your pocketbooks and all this stuff." And I don't care how much money you have, unless you go around cleaning the crap off the streets. You just can't open up a checking account and have the crap and clean the crap up unless someone's willing to go out there and scrape the streets every day. And it's not like you just clean the streets like once a month. You got to go out there, twice a day. It's like cleaning up the yard for your dog. If you're not out there cleaning it morning and night, the crap's going to build up, the flies are going to come, it's going to smell, it's going to be unhealthy. And, what are you going to do? You got to have someone out there cleaning this stuff up. And if you've got, I think now it's, I think, what is it now? I think there's 44,000 people in Los Angeles. It might be 140,000 people. 44,000 people is a lot of people for one county. I don't know what the number is in San Francisco, but if you have 44,000 people, I'm going to go on the low side. If you have 44,000 people homeless in LA that are crapping in the streets, that is 88,000 turds per day. Morning, one turd in the morning and one turd at night. And like I said, where's the Pope? Where is he coming up with his 88,000, you know, turd sweepers to clean up these streets in Los Angeles? It seems like every time that the United States, the people of the United States who want something, like we don't want sanctuary cities because we knew, I mean, the writing was on the wall, we knew this was going to happen. And the Pope comes out and he comes swishing around in his little white robes, and it's like, hit pound sand, Pope. We don't really want you here. I think that his religion, I think that there's a lot more to the Vatican than than what meets the eye. I don't think it's really a good religion. I think the Pope, like I said, they look at all the pedophilia they've gone through. But why is he nosing our politics? And so now he's out here talking about the CO2 levels. Well, that's a totally different video I'm going to do. Right now, this one is just about the Pope and the 88,000 turds per day in Los Angeles. There's probably way more. And we're not even counting all the turds in San Francisco. I mean, so if you add up all the homeless people crapping on the streets every day, twice a day, from just in Los Angeles County and just in San Francisco, we're talking probably 200,000 turds per day. And who's going to clean up all that crap? And where's the Pope? Where's he out here saying, oh, we're going to do all this for you and we're going to do all that for you? Well, he hasn't done anything for me. I don't want to do anything for me. And if I had kids, man, they would not be going around the Pope, that's for sure. And being a female, I think he's a bigot. I think this guy's just, I think, he's just one of these, boy, he wouldn't be my friend. I know that for sure. And he wouldn't like what I would have to say to him at all. And what a hypocrite. Really the thing about him is he's a hypocrite. He lives in this marble mansion. I mean, the thing is like polished marble, if you've ever seen the few snippets on TV of his interviews, where they're all walking on the white robes. It's a polished white marble, floor to ceiling. That takes a lot of money to build a marble palace like that. Number two is the Vatican is its own city. I don't see him opening up the Vatican for homeless people. I'm sure there's a lot of desperate homeless people in Rome who would love, a nice meal or a place to sleep once in a while. I sure as heck don't see that happening at the Vatican. And number three is, there's a wall built around the Vatican. There's a huge giant wall that surrounds the Vatican. I mean, it's like the Great Wall of China, but it surrounds the Vatican. Where is all this humanity? Where is all this, goodwill coming from the Vatican? It seems like he wants other people to pour it out for what he deems is okay, but he doesn't want to accept responsibility, in his own home for what he's advocating. And if he wants to advocate it and he wants to live by it, that's fine. I think that that's great, But when you're advocating it for someone else to be their responsibility, and you're not doing the same thing, in fact, you're doing the total opposite. To me, that's a hypocrite, and that is a huge problem. That creates a lot of conflict. It starts a debate, but once it's gotten this far, that debate's not going to help. The only thing that's going to stop it is really it's a conflict issue now because you're telling someone to live by your values who don't want to live by your values in the first place. Like, I don't think sanctuary cities are great. I don't think that there should be different laws for people. I think we should all live under one law, and that includes politicians, police, citizens, everybody. And if you're here legally, then you should have to live by those same laws too. So, that just makes conflict go away. So when the Pope is saying that he wants someone to live by his standards, but he's not willing to live by them himself, that's a problem for me. Huge, 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 huge problem, because it's like you're shoving something down, you're shoving something in my face that I'm not consenting to and that you're not living by. And if you want to be an example, then you do it. If you expect me to do it, then you, by God, better be doing it too. I mean, it's like it's something that I want, but sometimes you have to you know, go along with things just to keep peace sometimes. But when you see someone, you know, living up to that, then you're like, okay, well, you know, I can go along with it for a while. I'll work at it, you know, because that's what people do. You know, that's how we strive for peace, and it's, I think, being an adult. But when you see the Pope who's not trying to do anything at all to help these people, it's really, really irritating. And it never gets talked about, you know. I mean, you never hear it from, um, you know, you never hear like an after story. All you hear about, oh, the Pope made a statement and the Pope wants this to happen for the United States. And then all of a sudden, all these laws are like, oh my God, the Pope said it, the Pope said it. Well, we have to do it now because the Pope said it. And you know, like the Pope is going to open the gates of heaven for us, and if we don't do it, then you know they're going to slam in our face. And I don't think that's true at all. You know, in fact, I think the Pope is not a good religious person at all. I think he's actually kind of, well, if you're helping out pedophilia in your own organization, you know that can only be called evil. You know, um, so anyway, that's just my thought. I mean, I just want to hear what other people say. You know, I know that there's a lot of conspiracy theory about the Pope, and you know, you can even go as far as monetary wise and you know, birth certificate stuff and all that. But you know, and I realize all that, and I think it's true from what I've found out in my own personal life. But I want to see what other people think about what the Pope says that the United States people should do and why he doesn't live up to it himself. So anyway, I'll have some more videos coming up on other topics. My channel is pretty much about everything. It's a mismatch of all kinds of stuff. This is my first video. I really disliked the Pope for a long time, mainly because I think he's a bigot, and you know I hate guys that say, "Oh, you can't wear pants," and "You shouldn't ride, you know, dirt bikes," and you know, "You shouldn't be out there doing guy stuff. You shouldn't be fixing your own car. Or you shouldn't be doing that stuff. You know, you should be in the kitchen barefoot, and you should be, you know, submissive to the guy who tells you what to do, no matter, you know, if he's just a guy walking down the street." Well, to me, that's what the Pope is. I mean, the Pope's just some fat ass old man who's telling people what to do, and you know, he's really ruining it for a lot of people. I mean, if you think about, if the Pope's so family oriented and so people oriented, so concerned about people, what about the people who have to walk through all those turds every day just to get to their job, or just to walk their kids to preschool, or walk their kids to elementary school, or the kids who have to walk home by themselves and don't have the parents to help them even get off of the school bus to walk up to the front porch without getting past turds and needles? I mean, where's the Pope on that? And that's what pisses me off. So anyway, I hope you like this video. Please leave your comments. Please subscribe. And I'll have some more videos coming up for, very shortly. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.